Well, welcome back, guys. Welcome to a Vanother Collective. Remember to check out all the other guys in the playlist. They're all like-minded, outdoory caravanners, motorhomers, general outdoor lovers. So grab in onto that playlist, find them, give them a like, give them a subscribe, and do all the good stuff. Michelle's saying fat face, hat hair. Fat face.
And hat hair.
And hat hair. Which one she got?
Both.
Drop it in the comments below. So no. That's kind of what you meant to say, isn't it? Fat face.
And hat hair.
And hat hair. That is the start of 2024.
It is. Because we're still travelling. We're still on our holly bobbies. In France now, making our way up through the French farmers' protest quite slowly.
Yeah, well, they're French. They've got a protest. That's what they do. That's what they do best. The French protest, their direct action usually works out well.
It does. But we're here. We have 15 days left.
Yeah.
Travel back on the 16th of February. So that is our first plan of 2024, is to actually get home.
It's a fair plan. Come on. What more of a plan do you need? The plan is to get home. There we go. Plan B is we need to be back by the 1st of March because we have to start work then.
We do.
So, sadly, we have to go back to work.
But we need to go back to work because we need to do some alterations to Alma.
Very much so.
We've worked out that we weren't quite as prepared as we thought we were going to be. Were we?
No. She has got some things that need fixing, changing, altering, I don't know what you want to call it. We worked out this time, actually, that if you take the van to -17, the plastic step in the doorway...
It's bloody cold.
Ain't got no insulation whatsoever. It's the only piece of the van with no insulation. The plastic step's freezing.
And as you can see behind us here, we have a throw that we had to buy because we were getting cold air coming through from the engine.
Now, apparently, if you put the vents on circulation, so it's only doing the inside air, and you shut them all, there shouldn't be any drafts.
But we do have.
There's definitely drafts.
So that's a temporary fix, which Paul is going to try and make a proper permanent one for when we stop.
Paul is going to try and remember that he used to be a skilled craftsman and used to be able to make things. He used to be able to make shoes. So basically he can sew things that are big, fat and heavy. So hopefully he can sew some things together and make a fitted thing. If you know anywhere you can buy them to fit the Renault Master dashboard, drop it in the comments below because I'll just buy one because it'll be less hassle. We also worked out that actually this van is great apart from whoever designed it didn't intend anybody to actually plug anything into any of the plugs that they fitted in the van. There's one in the top wall of the bedroom. There's one in the bottom of the kitchen cupboard.
And there's one by the door.
And there's one by the door. So you can't actually plug anything useful in. So it looks like I'm going to be rewiring half the van to put sockets like somewhere here near the table. That'd be handy, you know?
Yeah.
Somewhere in the kitchen where you could plug in something that could sit on the kitchen top. That would be good. So it needs a few tweaks. And obviously because it's not shiny and new, it lacks USB sockets. So that's going to be a bit of a killer of a project. It'll need a bit of tweaking.
So apart from that then, we'll probably be looking at making plans for our next trip, which will be at the end of our season as campsite wardens. Where we're going to go, we've got no idea again yet.
Of course we know where we're going to go.
We're going to go abroad.
Yeah, there you go. That's a big enough plan.
This was a big change in what we normally do. Because we normally go to Spain, and last year we went to Spain and Portugal. This year we've done totally different, as you'll see if you watch any of our other blogs, videos.
Yeah, they will come out eventually.
They will come out because Paul's just struggling.
I'm not very good at the editing bit. I'm quite good at the sightseeing bit.
Which we've done plenty of.
I'm quite good at that bit. I'm quite good about deciding where I want to go, but not very good at actually then taking all the things that we recorded and we thought about and we know about and making them into vlogs.
So you will see them eventually. That's another plan for 2024. Yeah, we finish them off.
And obviously we will get the van out. The van's not going to sit there idle because otherwise what would be a waste of having a van. But we don't actually have any plans.
No.
We have some very loose plans. Like we worked out that we haven't been to Padstow for about 5 years. And Michelle and I really like Padstow. So we're going to go back there this year.
We are.
We're quite fancy going back to see the Dulverton site, whatever it was, the Camac site in Dulverton, can't remember now, Exmoor House. We had a lovely time there. And actually, somebody commented on the video, which you've all watched, obviously, and it made me realise actually it was about 4 years ago, and we've not been back since. So that's in the list of things.
And the Cane Hill flight, I'd like to go and do.
Yeah, which none of these things are very far away from us. So, it's we've got to just actually decide what we're doing. Typical of us, we've got zero idea what we're doing because generally we don't plan much. You know, this holiday we know where we're going tomorrow.
North.
Exactly. But that's about as good as it gets.
It will depend on whether we meet any disruptions, any blockades. So we're staying off the motorways. We're doing all the little D roads, which are much nicer to drive on.
A bit more fun.
See all the villages and everything else.
But we don't really know. We know where we've got to get the ferry from, but actually we're to a point where it's about 3 hours drive in total if you were to just drive it in one go. And we're going to spread that out over a fortnight.
We came up quicker than we thought. We came up quicker because we didn't quite know what was going to go on.
Yeah, we came down out the mountains from our ski trip, which you won't have seen yet because obviously I haven't made a video of that yet. But if you follow us on Instagram or Facebook, you will have seen the ski trip, which was cracking. But we came down out the mountain, we'll go out the mountain. We found somewhere nice to stay, and then we went, we'll just potter up to the next village. We got there, air was shut. Fair enough, it was by a river, it obviously flooded, perfect. So we carried on to the next nearest one. We hit the farmer blockade, spent 2 hours going around this little village because you couldn't get back out.
Tight.
You couldn't get back out of it because it was blocked with lorries basically from one end to the other. Back out of that. And then we ended up here, which we ended up in a little chateau for the night, didn't we?
We
a
did,
lovely little chateau. Beautiful view down over it. Sadly, the chateau was being renovated, so it was a bit like, oh. And then we've come here, which is great. But obviously, the basics of this, we should have been here probably next week in our
Our original plan was to go to Paris, wasn't it?
Yep.
4 days, you can't get
obviously
to Paris.
Paris has been ruled out the plan, so all plans have to be fluid. I'm sure, everyone has the same problems, and the plans will change as the year goes on. I've got no idea what we're going to do for the rest of the year. We're quite lucky in the fact that actually we end up with 5 3-day weekends a month. I say we're going back to work. We go back to work for 3 days a week, March till November. It's not a real job, please don't ever think it's a real job. Please don't think, oh, poor Paul's going to go back to work and work hard. He's not. He's going to go back to work for 3 days a week between March and November. But it does mean that we've actually got loads of time, so actually you have to be a bit careful. You have to actually try and make use of the time.
We've got to try and save as well this time.
Exactly, we've got to try and save some money to pay for the winter trip. It's lovely to come away for 3 months, but it isn't the cheapest thing in the world to do because you do spend money. Our
budget this year was £60 a day.
Yep.
And we've
spent it basically.
Yeah.
We will have, so our 90-day trip will have cost us 5 and a bit thousand quid, bargain for 90 days away. But obviously you do need to put that money in the bank. So we do have to save a bit whilst we're working. So we can't do the whole run away every 3 days and go away and do something.
We've done that last year, and
we can. That's a lie. We can, but it's not practical.
This year we've got the updates to do on the van so that we can go away and not worry about the cold.
It needs some more solar. We'd like a diesel heater because LPG is becoming harder to find. Even in Europe, it's becoming harder to find. There are garages now which don't have it, or the pump is out of action, which
they've gone for electric. 5
years ago, not every garage sold LPG. It was never an issue. So there is a bit more of that. So we will probably have to update and get a diesel heater fitted. So we've got a secondary heating system just in case. Like I say, we'd like to go from 200 watts of solar to 400 watts of solar, just because then we're never going to have a flat battery. Although we don't. We stayed off grid 2 days ago overnight, and we used 8 amp hours out of our 200 available. So it's not really that scary, but there is that bit where you go, actually I could get more on the roof, there's space. So but all of these things take time, they cost money. I don't really know. If you've got any ideas what we should do with our time, places we should go,
give us an idea.
Drop it in the comments below, because I'm all ears. I'm always up for anything different. We've got to say, I'd actually quite like to dig my paddleboard out and take one out, because I don't think it actually went on the water last year. It went. I think it went in the back of the van a few times, came with us, but
Never got it out.
I don't think it actually ever got out because it was either raining or windy or whatever, and it just didn't happen. So that'd be quite nice to actually get that out on the water, you know.
Yes, if anybody's got any ideas locally to where we are, we don't want to go too far, do we?
So
We're about
Somerset,
50-mile radius
Somerset,
where we
Devon, Dorset, bottom of Wales. None of those are too far away.
Paddleboarding.
Yeah, paddleboarding.
Well, Paul will give it a go.
Nice hikes up into the mountains. You know, I'm all good for that. But yeah, drop them in the comments below. We'll have a think about it. We'll see what we can do. If you give us any great ideas, we'll give you a shout out and say thanks for the idea. And basically, I think that's pretty much our plan for the year.
I think it is, yeah.
Is we haven't got a clue. So
No.
if you've got a clue, please help us out. And
We'll see you again.
catch you next time.
Bye.